Aloha, this is Larry Gonzales. I am coming to you on the 3rd of October. At least that's when I'm recording. This is my 32nd wedding anniversary. My wife has put up with me for 32 years, October 3rd. I am a lucky guy because I am a pain in the ass, and I truly do understand that. So, but you don't care about that as much as you care about what's going on in the market. Why, Larry? Why? This is what I'm going to get. Why? The Fed just lowered the Fed funds rate. Why are interest rates going up? I don't understand. It's okay. I'm going to explain all that to you and more today as we get into what's going on with the market. So, without further ado, let's talk about the big three. Prices, inventory, and rates. Prices continue to go up. Rates are up. Yes, they're up. Don't know why. Most people don't know why. I do, and who knows where they're going to go after this. We are in a very volatile time, folks. And then the other one, inventory is up too, which is good for buyers. So let's take a look at the headline news for the week. This is jobs week. This is traditionally a very volatile week, and nobody really knows which way rates are going to go, how the jobs reports are going to affect, or what they're going to say, what the numbers they're going to put out there are. And well, this week is no exception so far. So not really helping us out with this so far this week with the interest rates, jobs week that is. Tomorrow we have, on Friday the 4th, we will have the final jobs week report, the BLS jobs report, Bureau of Labor and Statistics jobs report, and who knows, that could be great or it could be really bad. And did you know that this week, from 29 September to 5 October, it is the best week historically in the year to buy a home? And guess what? The week after and the following week are right behind as far as what are considered the best weeks to buy a home. We'll get into that. And then finally, I'm going to answer your question on why interest rates are going up. Let's first get into jobs week. We had the first big report of the week, the ADP private sector jobs report, employment report, and it showed strong job growth in the private sector. We had 143,000 new jobs versus 120,000 that were expected. So that was a big surprise there. Kind of caused interest rates to go up a little bit, but the good news, and you always got to look at the entire report, wage growth slowed. That's right. We went from 4.8 to 4.7% wage annual pay increase for people staying in their job, and a big drop, 7.3% to 6.6% annual pay increase for people who are changing jobs. So that is good for inflation coming down. The wage growth is slowing down. Kind of the yin and yang and yin, whatever. It's kind of the polar opposite in the report that are kind of hurting us, but helping us a little bit too. And just to go back to that for just a little bit, the wage growth slowing, that is the lowest level of wage growth that we have seen in 3 years, folks. So that's good. JOLTS, the Job Opening and Labor Turnover Survey. We had an increase in the number of job openings at 8 million from 7.7 million last month. Not really what we want to see, but one of the things to remember with JOLTS is a lot of those jobs are duplicate jobs. There probably aren't 8 million job openings across the country, but that is something that we have to keep an eye on. All right, we had initial jobless claims. Not a lot of news really on that one. We had initial claims going up 8,000 last week to 225,000, so that's good, but continuing claims is pretty flat, steady at 1.826 million people receiving continuing insurance claims. Unclear why the numbers aren't going up. We do know that there's a lot of tech sector people losing their jobs, and maybe they're not applying for unemployment. Maybe they have enough money that they've made over the course of a few years. They cash in some stocks, or maybe they're working Uber or Uber Eats or DoorDash, and they haven't applied for unemployment yet. So continuing claims steady, not going up. We do need to see that go up, but not a great jobs report this week. And then let's look at VA rates. All right, we're going to look at rates here. Again, you can see towards the end of September, they started going down, or actually they started going down really from like June, July. You can see this nice steady decrease, but we're giving some back right now. We're giving some back. We'll get into the reason why in a minute. The big question is, when will they go down? And going back to the jobs report that we're going to see tomorrow, if the BLS jobs report, if it shows unemployment going up. All right, it's at 4.2% last month. Unemployment goes up. All right, we'll see interest rates come back down towards that 5.5% curve or line. If unemployment goes down, that could cause us to see interest rates go up a little bit. So we'll see there. But there is a lot at play with mortgage rates right now. So why are interest rates going up? You saw it on the graph. Interest rates going up, not a lot, but still enough to make a difference. Oh, there's a lot of reasons. One of them, and this one isn't really having that big an effect now, maybe short term, but long term this will have an effect, is the work stoppage caused by the International Longshoremen Association. They basically operate and run the ports. This is along the East Coast down to Texas, from Maine down to Texas. They went on strike this week, the first time in almost 50 years. And what that is doing is that is going to stop shipment of goods to and from our country, and really that will cripple our economy. Right now, this week, maybe not a lot of effect, but if the longer this goes on, the more this is negatively going to affect our country. Why? Cost of goods and services are going to go up. You think about cars coming into the East Coast, all right, and then being distributed. Well, if we don't have cars coming in, people can't sell cars. If people can't sell cars, they get laid off, all right? You look at the cost of goods. We're coming up on Christmas time. Talk about a tough time to go on strike for the regular Joes and Janes like you and me. It's going to be more expensive for us to buy goods that we typically get, and that's going to cause what? Inflation to go up. People can't build houses if they don't have the materials to build the houses. Guess what? Inflation's going to go up. Construction workers will start to get laid off. Now, this doesn't happen right now because of this strike, but if this strike lasts for a couple months, couple weeks, could be very ugly for inflation and for our economy. And this could throw us right into a recession. So not a very timely, or actually very timely for the ILA. That is a big reason why rates kind of went up a little bit. Here's why they could go up even more later. So it's something to really keep your eye on. And then you got the fear of war breaking out, full-fledged war breaking out in the Middle East. Israel and Iran are going back and forth, lobbing bombs and missiles at each other. What happens if there's a war in the Middle East? Well, the cost of fuel is going to go up. The cost of shipping goods and services to and from the Middle East are going to go up. That will carry over to the rest of the world economy, and it probably already is. So there's a destabilization, really, the world economy with this war, imminent war in the Middle East. I mean, it's not imminent for the people who are living there. They're seeing that, they're feeling that every day. That's causing rates to go up, and that could cause inflation to go up. Let's talk about the continued funding of the war in Ukraine. All right, we just shipped basically gave $8 million more to Ukraine to help them fight their war against Russia. This war isn't ending anytime soon. Where's that money coming from? What is that going to do to our inflation? The cost of our goods and services, our taxes and whatnot. Yeah, all that shit's going up, people. The longer we continue to fund these wars, right or wrong, there's a cost of doing business, cost of funding these wars off our homelands, and that's what we're going to see possibly is inflation going up, and then insurance costs going up. Hurricane Helene has devastated a lot of the eastern seaboard states, Florida, North Carolina, Georgia. That's going to cause cost of insurance going up, and actually there's already reports of insurance fraud in Florida. The cost of insurance goes into the inflation reports. That's another reason why inflation's going up, and again another reason why interest rates could go up. So all of these things taken together this week, and the jobs report coming out this week, are causing interest rates to go up, and they could continue to go up further down the road. That's why rates are going up this week. We'll see what happens. And that's why, folks, I'm telling you, don't get greedy. Yeah, you know what? You can refinance now and save $800 a month or $600 a month, and you're going to be in the low fives. But I want to get into the low fours. I want to get into the mid fours, or even just get into the fours. We may not get there for a while. There is a risk in waiting. And you know what? There's also a risk of waiting for buyers, and here is why. Again, I said at the beginning, this is the best week of the year to buy a home. And this is just, historically, this isn't Larry Gonzales trying to sell you home. Yeah, I'm a loan officer. That's how I get paid. I'm also looking at the market and when is the best time to buy a home. Why is that? Inventory is higher than any time, at least in Oahu and across most of America, any time since COVID. And if you look at this chart, this chart on active inventory of homes, you can see we were over 3,000 active homes, active inventory in Honolulu County before COVID. And then we dropped about 1,300 at one point during COVID. You know, everyone's rates went low and everyone started buying homes. Homes just started going off the market. Bang, bang, bang. Prices start going up. Bang, bang, bang. Right now, we're at about 2,700 active homes on the market at any time. Active inventory. Inventory is high right now, and that is a big reason. The other big reason, interest rates are at near 2-year lows. Oh my gosh, guess what? The strike has just ended. All right, so take back everything I just said about inflation. Actually, don't, because it could still go up for these other reasons. But I just saw that pop in. Hey, I give you the news as I see it, right? And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. That's great news. But let's also, that is really good news. I'm super happy about that. We just can't afford to do that. So good news there. The other reason, so we have higher inventory. Interest rates are at 2-year lows right now. So that's great. It's less expensive to buy a home. $17,000 or $14,000 less expensive to buy a home now than it is during the peak summer months. And really, our peak summer months weren't that great this summer because interest rates were near 8%. And then the other big reason is less competition, right? You've just seen we have a lot more inventory now, but now we also have fewer people looking to buy homes. That is right. Why is that? Well, people move during the summer. They've already moved, folks. They're where they need to be. So you have homes that have sat on the market for a long time. Fewer people looking, they're already renting, and rates still aren't low enough for people to start looking at buying other homes. So you have less competition. Less competition, more inventory for buyers. That is a good thing. And I'm seeing that right now on the west side. And I tell you what, I'm getting contracts in every day from people who are taking advantage of the opportunity that they have to buy a home. So take my word for it. This is the best week of the year to buy. You can look at the news. And this has nothing to do with me being a loan officer. A little bit, but this has nothing to do really. I'm just reporting the news. All right, 10-year treasury movement. This is something to keep an eye on. The 10-year treasury, it's come down below 3.8. We've been in the 3.6 range at a couple points here in September. It's gone up almost to 3.9%. We just went above the 25-day moving average last week. And we went above the 50-day moving average this week. Actually, on Thursday, we went above the 50-day moving average. If we don't get a good jobs report tomorrow, we could see that 10-year treasury move closer to 4%. And we don't want to go there again because, again, the Fed's dropping the Fed funds rate, but that is not interest rates. Interest rates are tied and more levered to the 10-year treasury. So definitely something to keep an eye on. And hopefully this is just a blip, this big green bar here. And we'll see 10-year treasury come down and then mortgage rates come down as well. But that Friday jobs report is going to move the market one way or the other. I just don't know which way yet. All right, so what does this all mean for you? Hey, we had applications, mortgage applications were up 1% last week for purchases. That's the 5th week in a row we've had an increase, and we're up 9%. Year over year. It's the first time again in 2 years that we've been in positive year over year movement on mortgage applications. Refinance activity last week fell 3%, but still we're up 186% year over year, and fully 55% of all the application volume right now is refinances. If you want to take advantage of these rates, and buy a home, you got to get pre-approved. All right, I'm getting probably 2 to 3 applications coming in a day. I have a great team. I love my team. They're so good. They're so efficient. They knock these things out very quickly. And you know what? Those people who are putting their apps in, they're going to be ready to make offers this weekend. For sellers, stay positive. West Side, you're still seeing seller credits. Mililani, Kaneohe, Kailua, not as much. It really depends on the home, and it depends on the realtor you're working with in some cases. Really, those are more competitive areas, and the inventory there is still historically low, but we do see an increase really across the island, but just mostly on the west side still. So that's what I got for you this week. I'm so excited. I just saw my middle daughter and her boyfriend last week, and that was great. And again, celebrating my 32nd year being married, and lucky man I am. So I'm gonna go enjoy my my evening here. Have a great weekend. Aloha.